We all come from the same source. Our existence is an unbroken lineage of reproduction that dates back over 3 billion years. We live in a world built upon the foundation our ancestors built, who erected their world on top of the remnants their ancestors laid down. In the beginning, there was only the mountain. The words of the mountain give form to the primordial world. Things, both dead and alive, are given shape. Among these things is us, mankind. We too inherit our lives, our peculiar shape from the mountain. The ancients discovered the bones of the mountain, the fragments of the voice. We see the ancients craft a world of their own. A thriving culture is erected with the gifts begat from the mountain. But as we, mankind, tend to do, the ancients start to fuck things up. They forget or perhaps lose respect in the structure that birthed and nurtured them. They erect tower after tower, ever higher, to reach the mountain, to transcend it. Worship turns to hubris. The sky grows bleak. The stars, the shining light emitted by the mountain, can no longer be seen, the voices no longer heard. Next, the inevitable happens. People lose their way. The boons of the mountain are lost and people turn against each other. They bicker, fight for scraps. An arms race to the bottom ensues. Countless lives are lost. The ancients no longer remember, see, or care of the mountain. Next comes the flood, the archetypal wrath of God. The slate is wiped clean and the world is buried by sands. In the stillness, in the roaring silence of drowned worlds, faint echoes creep up, whispers of the mountain. From these whispers, something entirely new receives form. Us, the journeyer, the individual. And this story is true in every possible sense. We, as humans, as individuals, are born against our own will into a broken world of awe and wonder, but also into death and suffering. That is our lot, our mortal coil. How are we to act faced with such a fate? When it comes to, well, everything, Journey, the now almost legendary indie title from Thatgamecompany, is as bare bones as it gets. The game's objective is simple: reach the mountain summit that glistens beyond the horizon. You are a nameless red hooded figure, an anthropomorphized piece of cloth who sojourns through this desolate, beautiful desertscape. The chosen art style follows suit, evocative and minimalistic. These ruins, statues, temples and the desolation around us seem familiar, yet impossible to pinpoint into a specific civilization, into some distinct era, eon or legacy. Mayan, Egyptian, Indian, Celtic, Mesopotamian, Hyrulean, whatever the shadow of the Colossus lost world is called, they are all here. This is the lost world you read from as a child, the archetypal lost culture. The story, well, there really is no story per se. Everything is symbolic, representational. Characters have no names, places have no names. There is no time frame, no location. We are in the world of the abstract, archetypal and mythic, somewhere beyond history. There is just us, the mountain, and the eternal broken world. Gameplay-wise, we're also amidst the basics. You can run, jump and glide, and that's pretty much it. You do have a glowy magic scarf thingy, but that's the whole swath of game mechanics. You just tally on onwards towards the peak of the mountain. There's no worry of progression, puzzles, the hows and whys of the experience. You get where you need to go and what you need to do to get there. No hand-holding, maps, waymarkers, pointy arrows or text prompts. In many ways, you have been here before. It's the beauty that gets to you, that goes under your skin. It forces you to shut the hell up, to wonder, not think, listen, not speak. A sudden you, as in I, don't matter that much. There are grander things in life. Perhaps it's only through surrendering ourselves to beauty, to awe and wonder, we start to see ourselves as an extension of this world, instead of vice versa. This kind of beauty is a call to wonder, a call to action. To start your journey, you need to stop obsessing about yourself. Like a curious child, you need to go wander and explore all the insanely interesting crap that lies in wait for you, just beyond the horizon of this strange, broken world. A pilgrimage, a sojourn towards something transcendent. That's what we are up to here. It's the steps towards the mountain that transform you and by extension the world, not the thing waiting at the top. All is found on the way towards the mountain, not upon arrival. It truly is the journey and not the destination. Along the way, we find words, echoes of the voice. Slow, we reacquaint ourselves with the mountain. The desolated world isn't rebuilt by repairing the world. It is repaired by the individual rekindling, reaffirming his own relationship with the transcendent. The gathered words enable you to traverse faster and farther. They make your red magical flying scarf thingy more potent. You can jump higher, glide farther. You navigate the land, move ever closer to the mountain's summit, it ever present, just beyond the horizon. If you play Journey online, you might get paired with fellow saunterers on your path. You communicate with one another through pseudo-musical noises, but this is not mandatory. There are no co-op puzzles or anything of sorts. It's something that might just happen. Sometimes you happen across a stranger in your life. You share a moment, a small stretch of the road, and then you go on your separate ways. Even with companions, this journey is yours alone. Your paths may cross, but you are both literally two strangers in a strange land, brought together by a seeming happenstance. Still, these chance encounters aren't trivial. Being near a fellow journeyer grants you mana, vigor, mojo for your magic scarf thingy. You can try to ask, at least in principle, for help. Signal the other traveler you found something useful, a way forward, a fragment of the voice. Or you can just bounce around and have a bit of fun before you carry on your journey. All this without words, texts, signs, sigils or suggestions. It's cute, very Studio Ghibli deep, the way you interact and care for these complete strangers. When you stick closer to your travel companion, you both get stronger, the road less weary. The journey is easier with someone by your side. Journey references this theme also through its use of music. The instruments and their relative balance in the mix change according to the way you interact with your companion and surroundings. When you and your fellow saunterer are closer together, the soloists are placed in front and center of the music. They play off each other, offer melodies, have fun. The further you are apart, the quieter the soloists get. If you travel alone and don't interact with the world, you don't hear the solo instruments, nor the other intricacies of the score. Cool, but what's the point? Well, without someone to share the road ahead, you might miss the beautiful intricacies of the score. Without someone to share the journey with, you'll miss beauty to which existence you were completely oblivious. Sharing the road makes the journey more fun, easier, more playful. You'll experience more. You'll learn things you never knew. If you travel alone, the road is harder, more desolate, bleaker. You'll have no one to show you the way forward, to pick you up when your strength runs out. No one to steady your resolve when your magic flying scarf thingy runs out of the white glowy stuff. Yet there's somber beauty in the lonesome road, the unquestionable pride of going at it alone, to be the one who catches himself from the free fall of existence. The world seems quite different when you go at it alone. We glide through the deserts, rekindle ourselves with the lost, forgotten ways. Glee, childlike wonder, awe, intrigue, all the little wishes you abandoned into the forests of your childhood, they are all here, in this desert. They lay dormant in the small cracks of these ruins, hidden amidst the desolation. Images from your adolescence flash through your mind. The cold snow plows over you as you slide down the hillside. The final slow one at your elementary school's disco. That one time when she just marched inside the train, kissed you and left without saying a word. The first time you performed with your high school band. That one evening on the beach. The time she smashed her head on the corner of your guitar amp at the worst imaginable moment, but she didn't let the little cut slow you down. Smiling, thrilled, alive, we take a leap of faith through the skies and fall from the heavens into the depths of the earth, into the abyss. For a brief moment, you remember when you had to explain to your daughter why you won't come home anymore. You remember a phone call from your mother, the one about your father, and how you just wouldn't deal with the matter at all. You hung up, told her you were busy. You remember a tiny, lifeless body at the hospital. You held it, horrified and grateful of the detached numbness that permeated every fiber of your being. You snap out of these thoughts, unable to find your bearings in this strange new underworld. You take few tentative steps forward, like a child who's heard creaky sounds from the hallway, the steps of a nightmarish monster perhaps. Now you must carry onwards with all the unfathomable beasts who lurk in the shadows, just beyond the light, just beyond your sight. On our travels, we happen upon altars that allow us to converse with the ancient ones. Piece by piece, altar after altar, we pass together the woeful history of this desolate land, the tale of all mankind. At the base of the mountain, beyond scorching deserts, dark caves and ruined temples, we get to converge with the ancient ones for one last time before our ascension. They reveal to us the grand purpose of our journey, the true nature of our pilgrimage. We are to face a lonely death at the foot of the mountain, never to reach the summit we set out for. That is our lot. That is our mortal coil. How are you supposed to act when faced with such a cruel existential slap in the face? How to move on in the world when you know what is to happen? Journey's answer seems to be, you must accept this burden and carry on your pilgrimage nonetheless. You must not let the inherent suffering weaved into the nature of life deter you from your set path. However unjust the hand you were dealt with feels, you must move forward. So that is what we do. We accept our lot and carry on, even though we know what lies in wait for us. We travel as far and as long as we can, but in the end, as foretold, we can't carry on anymore. We are born without consent, and we are born into a broken, post-fall world. Not only do we have to wrestle with the innate problems of existence, we also inherit the catastrophes of our elders. The sins of our fathers and the floods they bring about them are always on their way. In time, our sons and daughters too must deal with the fallout of our collective errors and moral shortcomings. The end of the world is always at hand. The flood is always coming. The elders are eternally corrupted, calcified, and willfully blind to the errors of their ways and the looming doom they entice. The youth is eternally arrogant, foolish, and ungrateful. They've lost all reverie and humility towards the wisdom of what was before. Why not say, fuck it, and let it all burn to the ground? Why not just turn your back to the mountain? That would seem to be one hell of a solution to the whole freezing to death alone in the snowy desert problem. The short answer is, because it's not helpful. The slightly longer answer would be, because it just makes everything worse. If I adopt a stance to run away, a stance of not wanting to make things better, I instantly become a part of the problem. I become a wellspring for despair. The proper answer, too complicated and dreamlike to articulate, is explored in the ending of Journey. In the monomythic story structure, the hero must face something called an atonement with the Father, or sometimes the Abyss. This is the true watershed of the hero, the all is lost moment, right before he becomes all he can be. You know this scene, when the hero stops, falls down, exhausted and empty. He hears a voice, remembers words of the mentor. Images of loved ones flash before him. The taunts of the adversary echo in his ears. Something clicks, aligns. He lets go. In his book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, Joseph Campbell describes, the problem of the hero going to meet the Father is to open his soul beyond terror to such a degree that he will be ripe to understand how the sickening and insane tragedies of this vast and ruthless cosmos are completely validated in the majesty of being. The hero transcends life with its peculiar blind spot and for a moment rises to a glimpse of the source. He beholds the face of the Father, understands, and the two are atoned. Perhaps this was a test and we are deemed worthy. Maybe this was the way our journey was always ordained to end. Whatever the case, however you want to interpret this scene, we are brought back from the abyss. We are brought back to finish our pilgrimage. Our magical flying scarf thingy is filled with mojo once more, and with a flash of a blinding light, we take to the skies. There is a compositional term in music called apotheosis, translated from Greek as to deify or to become godlike. In music, apotheosis refers to the appearance of theme in its most intricate or exalted form, for an idea to become the grandest iteration of itself. Wintry's score also references this deification of ours. In fact, unbeknownst to us, Wintry has scored our journey as the hero's journey right from the start. The end of our journey is nigh. We glide through the heavens above the cloud line, bask in the blinding light of the sun, unburdened by the tragedies of our past. Memories, images, long-forgotten feelings and pressure points rise to the surface from somewhere. But there is no struggle, not anymore. A veil has been shifted. You remember what a bitter, broken husk you used to be, how much courage it took to trust again, to let go of all the baggage, to let somebody close again, how you were saved, redeemed by opening the door for love. You remember what a struggle it was to let go of everything that gnawed you, rotted you, ate away your body and soul. How hard it was to take care of yourself for the first time. How scary it was to realize there was almost nothing left of you once you had let go of all the things that held you down. All the self-deprecating thoughts, all the ill words, all the bitter half-truths, all the rationalizations. How scary it was to realize that most of who you were was dead weight, harmful, poisonous. How you were once sure, as you scattered ashes to the wind on a small river bank, you'd never smile again. Yet, here you are. You smile, shiver, stand awestruck by the all-encompassing beauty of being. I've been obsessed with myths, legends, stories, fables and tales all my life. And if there is a common thread, a centralized idea distillable from the whole corpus of stories amassed by mankind through its history, I believe it to be this: the voluntary acceptance of the suffering intrinsic to existence ennobles being. To have a good life is to remain uncorrupted by the often but not always undeserved suffering brought to you. To take the blows, smile through your blood-soaked teeth, spit on the ground, and move forwards. To live is to suffer, of that there can be no doubt. Suffering is embroidered into the fabric of being. But that is in the end of the story. That is only half of the story, only half of the truth. Life is filled with suffering, but he who has a why can withstand anyhow. Life is filled with suffering, but that which is to emit light must also endure burning. Life is filled with suffering, but no tree can reach to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Apotheosis is also found in Campbell's template of the hero's journey. Those who know not only that the everlasting lies in them, but that what they and all things really are is the everlasting, dwell in the groves of the wish-fulfilling trees, drink the brew of immortality, and listen everywhere to the unheard music of eternal concord. So we transcend our former self, our mortal coil, and with this newfound resolve, we reach the mountain's summit and walk into the blinding light.